Woohoo! So we're live once again on another Tuesday, and I have a way special show today because sometimes man plans, God laughs. And this is one of those moments where I published that we were having our show on Friday. And about 5 or 10 minutes later, Ilya had sent me a message that she had an emergency come up and she could not make the show on Tuesday. So I screamed, she screamed, and we tried to figure out what to do. And we came up with a workaround. So what we did was we met yesterday, we taped our show. But I'm going to stop halfway through and take some comments and do some other stuff. So we're going to do this previously recorded in two parts. I'm live. I'm here. Ilya's in the comments. So you guys can, put comments in and we'll answer the comments as best we can. And this is just one of those where I'm crossing my fingers and hoping everything works. So I'm going to get on with it. I will I'll start the tape. I'm going to stop halfway through, take some comments, and we'll go from there. And please wish me luck. Okay, here we go. Woohoo! So we're live, kinda, once again on another Tuesday. And I have a special guest in the house, Ilya Francis, who is coming from my old hometown of Toronto, Canada. I love it. I love when we got Canadians in the house. So this is always exciting. So we have a cool topic today. We're talking about short form video content trends. And this could be LinkedIn, this can be anywhere, but this is a hot topic. And you are the perfect guest for this because I'm calling you the queen of short form video content. How about that? I'm just buttering you right up today.
Wow.
But before we jump into our topic, I do want you to, first of all, introduce yourself, just in case somebody doesn't know you. So just say who you are and what you do, and then we'll get stuck in.
Thank you, Jillian. And I'm always super excited to be here, to be coached, to learn, to watch you live or on replay. And as you know, many of us that have been building this friendship over a year and a half, I would say, since Clubhouse started. I am another LinkedIn consultant. I enjoy, seeing people building up that confidence and finding themselves like, I can do this. I can master LinkedIn and share my voice, my message, build a career, or find those people they need for the next step in their one. I also love, helping business owners to find out, how to promote their businesses, how to create the true impact we truly want to make in those targeted people, organizations, institutions that we want on LinkedIn, especially when it is our primary platform. And awesome. I am outside Toronto, just in Oakville, Ontario. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And it's funny. I used to live in North York when it was like a suburb. It was not its own place. So it's you're in my old hometown. I'll have to come up and see you. So this is exciting.
Yes, you will be welcome here for sure. For not just me, there are many people who live in Toronto who are part of this community for sure.
Which is exciting. So yes. I remember you before you were the queen of LinkedIn short form content. You were the story queen because you loved LinkedIn stories. And I remember everybody else hated stories except for you. And I remember you loved them. And then when LinkedIn took them away, you were just like, oh, so sad.
It was it was really hard because for me, because of the dynamic days that I have, I don't sit behind a computer just all the time. And I wanted people to understand that from me, to see that you can bring content in multiple ways. And for me, having that window open 24/7 with LinkedIn stories, with Instagram stories, which is where I grew up with, basically, on short form video, was for me my beautiful arena. I was always sharing what I was doing, one LinkedIn tip of the day without making people say this is too much for one day. Stories are completely different. The dynamic, the goals. So that's why I grew up with the passion of, delivering short form video information, images, but especially telling the story of my days for someone else who needed that information.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So, okay. So before we get really cracking, in your opinion, what is short form video? It's a hard phrase. Short form video content. I'm thinking it's like less than a minute, and some of yours are like 20 seconds, which that's amazing. But what is it to you? What do you define as short form video
for me, short form video truly is the delivery of a message as briefly as possible that has a proper structure of a full message that you can deliver in 3, 5, or even 10 minutes. You should, as fast as you can, you condense the information. But the best part of delivering short form video or creating short form video is a punch, a surprising factor that make people, wow, I didn't know this, or I entertain you in some way or the other that produces a transformation. And this is why TikTok has been pivotal, has been crucial into the explosion of short form video on not only on LinkedIn, but in other social media platforms for sure.
Okay. So question is, do you always have to dance? What if you're not a dancer? Can you still do short form video content?
Absolutely, yes. And that's the problem with many content creators who consider, that TikTok is the stepping stone, and that you have to do the same and you have to follow the crowd. And it's not the case. Ideally, if you have a minute, you can deliver the same things or the same message that you produce for 5 and 30 seconds, as long as you condense it and you don't lose your voice. That is one of the most important things that you need to remember, because you think like, well, I need to dance, I need to lip sync, I need to be funny, when you're not. If it's not for you, then you shouldn't force it, because people see it.
I got it.
But especially the difference with, TikTok and Instagram and Facebook stories is that with LinkedIn, you have the opportunity to deliver in such a fun way one unique message. You don't need to complicate it. And that's a problem, that people tend to overcomplicate things, and then they lose the train of thoughts, they lose the message, and they lose the person who is watching as well.
Wow. Now you've done, so tell us, how are you creating your short? So you mentioned TikTok, you mentioned Instagram, you mentioned Facebook. So basically you're using other social media platforms. Do you publish to those as well, or do you just use those to create your video and then save it to your phone? Like, what's your process? How do you do all this?
It all depends. Sometimes my process is very organic, and it depends on whether I want to use a trend or I simply want to deliver the message. I have those combinations, and I love playing with that, because, as I said, I don't want people to not feel identified with my voice. So you might see myself with no music, no TikTok trending backgrounds or soundtracks, but simply a royalty-free background music, for example, that adds a little bit more dimension to what I'm saying. But I keep it to one message. If I want to provide certain dynamism, I add either stickers, I add maybe some sounds here and there, but mainly I love working with transitions. So for example, I want to deliver a message on what are the top 3 mistakes that people might be doing on LinkedIn right now. And I would say, here are the 3 mistakes that you might be doing on LinkedIn and you are not aware of it. So I'm stating already the result, the potential problem to catch someone's attention. So when I do this, I immediately, I am telling you, this is the delivery, this is the message. Do you like it? No? Okay, continue scrolling. So once I say it,
I love that.
once I say it in probably 5 seconds or less, then I cut any potential, like the minimum pause or filler words that I have, because people are ready to receive the message. So I better deliver it right away. So I start with number one, and then I said, well, should I be as dynamic since from the get-go? So then I can pause my video, and I can do it right from my phone. I can create a normal video. I start pausing and creating those stories or those sentences that I am going to deliver. Once I say it, well, I decide whether I use a program or an app like InShot or Videoleap, and then I start stitching together those tiny shorts. And then I see whether if by stitching them all together, they sound okay, I sound too robotic. So depending on, I add the transition from the app, or I simply start playing with, a change with either my hand or my clothes or someone else or something else, whatever I do. Sometimes, and I'm still learning, but I feel more confident with the transitions as I experience what works, how people react with them or not. So it's as easy. I can use InShot, and I use the transitions in app. I can use Instagram Reels, and I start stopping and pausing. And the best part of Instagram Reels is that if I want to do those transitions about, for example, changing my clothes, you have the overlapping, kind of like a ghost option, in which the app shows you where exactly was the last image.
Oh, okay.
That is how you do it.
That's the secret.
It's a tiny secret. So it's actually simpler than people might think. It's about timing and stitching both, is short pieces of video all together in a way that is absolutely smoothly. Of course, for this, I've practiced probably a few hundred times until I've got them right.
That makes sense. Yeah. And you've done work with other people where you've collaborated. So sometimes you do like a short form video, and it's not just you. It could be you did one with Seb, and you're both like kind of doing different things. So when you collaborate with someone like that, how does that work? Do you take his and yours? Like how do you organize when you collaborate like that?
Well, one of the most recent ones that I did with Sebastian was, we had this idea. We heard this sound, which was very trendy on TikTok, and then it came, it was transferred to Instagram, in which it sounded more or less like a roulette. It was like a dun, 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 dun. But the idea with that video was to sync every beat of the soundtrack with a different part of the videos. So we had to cut and do the snippets of probably between 24 and 48 shots, which is absolutely insane we couldn't get it right. Actually, we couldn't get it right. But what we did was, we agreed, okay, you're going to start moving in different ways in the same video without cuts. So you're starting changing your expressions. Maybe you add glasses. Maybe you move something else. Maybe you take your clothes. Maybe you grab your water bottle, and leaving some space in between, so we could cut and take the exact shot that we want. So that's how we did it. It took me probably a month to put it together because we couldn't get the soundtrack right, but we said, it's okay. We're not going to have the time. We had a deadline. We did something different, though. which is the one when we are I am talking and showing my jacket. We added a trendy song, but then we share, you need to be kind. This is not Facebook. It's okay. We need to be kind. This is the message we want to deliver. We delivered it in, I believe it was between 5 and 6 seconds, which is absolutely insane. But what gave us the direction was the soundtrack. The soundtrack was that short. So we did the exact same. We learned the lyrics. We lip synced. And then he was a magician to put both videos all together. And it's a beautiful, it actually came out really nicely. So anyway.
Wow, that's nice. It'd be good. I'll see if I can show it later. And it's, I love the videos, and I love, especially the ones where you collaborated, and you did one with a whole group of people for it was like Creator Kindness Day or something along that lines. And that was a ton of different people. Who was in charge of that? Do you have to have sort of a team captain?
Look, the kudos right now, if you're watching, are for Sebastian and Giant. Giant Ghost and Sebastian were absolutely brilliant. I know that Seb is a magician with LinkedIn Live video, but also overall with video, he is great because he's done the same as I did. I started just losing the fear of showing myself on camera. As long as I had, that person who might be feeling or resonating with the profession or the message without even feeling like I'm losing my audience. So he was fantastic. And I simply added the intro video.
Okay,
and
got it.
Yeah, across multiple nationalities and countries around the world, we want to bring this special message in honor of Celebration of Life Day. I still have it fresh in my mind. I cannot believe it. I still have it. And
it's a beautiful one. That's a beautiful one. And we'll see if we can play that one, because I think it was just such a wonderful example. Again, short form content, but with collaborators. I've never seen that many collaborators on such a short video, and everybody coming together just made it so wonderful, just wonderful. And you got to watch all the way to the end, because I think Seb just does a wonderful job of the close, and it's just it's superb. It's superb. Okay, back to me. So this is just crazy. I don't know if this is even working, so I'm just going to keep going with it. So I thought, since I'm doing everything else, why don't I try showing some of Ilya's short form content? So I put together, and it's so short, of all her shorts, and especially the two that we just talked about. So I'm just going to go ahead and play those so that you can see what short form content looks like.
Here's how you break barriers on LinkedIn. Across countries and continents, let me share with you this special message that we put together, a group of LinkedIn members, in celebration of Life Day.
Hi, I am a professional on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a professional networking platform,
and everyone is welcome.
We celebrate
all genders.
all races,
all religion,
all ethnicity,
and all people with disabilities. Together,
we stand
stronger.
Together, we are complete.
We pledge to active work towards keeping the platform
a safe place for everyone.
We share because we care.
Oh my gosh. I just love that last one. And I just have to give a shout out to Seb. Every time I watch that, I cry. It's just like so emotional. And I remember that creator challenge, and you guys just knocked it out of the ballpark with that. So I thought I'd show a couple of comments, and we can see we have Jeff joining us today. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Always in the front row cheering me on. We got Jim Wolf chiming in from across the pond, where it's another thing today. We've got the time change with America going, springing ahead, the rest of the world not springing for another 2 weeks. So we've got the time change. Like, come on, let's just throw in everything today. I think I got a time lag, and I think we might even have like a delay today. So it's just fun. We have Diana coming in from YouTube. Hey, hey, hey. Hi. Great to be here. Thank you, Diana. We got G. Thank you. You're always your bright and smiley face. I just love it, G. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. We've got Tina with 2 eyes, and I'm challenging you to do a sketch on this one because it's like, So thank you, Tina, for being here. We're just trying to roll with it and always be learning. That's what I say. Always be learning. G coming in from Frisco, Texas, not for long. She's relocating, and she missed the first chart. I don't know. This is like everything's happening today, and I don't know how much of this is coming through and whatever, but we're just going to go with it. Okay. We've got Jeff again. Ilya, I hope everything is okay. It turns out me too. I need those namaste things today, guys. Definitely big time. And here's Ilya. Here's our guest of the hour. She said she'd be here in the comments. So yay for you. Yay for being here in the comments. So yeah, we just had to roll with the punches today. So this is always a great experience to be learning new things and figuring out what works, what doesn't work. And apparently you can't change halfway through a stream. So you just have to see what's going to work and go with it. Okay. Yes. Poor Claire, she's not feeling well. We've got all sorts of stuff going all around the planet today. So yeah, we have no idea why there was a technical glitch. So that's just StreamYard, LinkedIn, uploading video. Who knows? So hope you get better, Claire. Short form content. Yeah, I guess you could really say that your cover story, profile video, whatever you want to call it, if you can see it, depends, blue ring, orange ring, whatever. And it's interesting. Yes, that could be a form of short form content. Also, too, YouTube is now doing what's called YouTube Shorts, and you can do stuff with YouTube and all sorts of neat stuff with that. And we've got Jim here. TikTok is really got lots of stuff. So I'll probably now jump back, and we're going to finish the rest of the live. I will throw up comments, and we'll see how it goes. And so I'm going to just click back to here, and we will
Look, he is one of those people, just like Claire, Carol, and Mumita, are champions on including truly, like genuinely, with actions, with the true steps that people need in order to feel this person is creating something for me. He is or she is making me validate. They want to deliver the message, no matter how, whether there are impairments, whether I have a hearing impairment, whether I need to read something. I've included, and that's why I said, like, whenever you need someone, I am there for you.
Nice. So here's something that I learned when I went on to your LinkedIn profile and I was looking at your short form videos, because I don't do short form videos. I do videos, but not short form. So you're teaching me stuff. So, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, so to speak. So I'm now going to be supercharged and challenged, and I'm going to try and do something short myself. But one of the things that I thought was really, really interesting was if a video, because I wanted to like see how long yours were, and some were like, some were like less than a minute, some were like 30 seconds, 50 seconds, 40 seconds. But here's what I noticed. If they were below 20 seconds, they looped like a GIF.
Exactly.
And I just went, well, hey, is that probably not the most outstanding feature of this? Because a traditional video, you get to the end and it just kind of rewinds itself and it just sits there now and it's just waiting. But because 20 seconds, less than 20 seconds, it loops, it's just going to keep playing and playing and playing. So you think about it, it's kind of like your video becomes the entire bait. If somebody is scrolling through the newsfeed, to see something that never stops moving is going to catch your eye more than a video that ends and, resets itself. So I went, wow, that is the big bonus, the loop.
And that is one of my next targets, being able to show how it's not easy because it requires some synchronization between the end and the beginning of your message. But my next step, which is also trend, you can see it on TikTok and also as well on Instagram Reels, people looping their videos. And the loop means that you don't know where the message ends. You don't know when the message starts.
So if you start in one position, you should end in that position. So like if you started like in a prayer, you'd want to come and do that at the end, because then it just keeps going and going.
Exactly. So these are all tricks and best practices that I've learned from other LinkedIn video coaches. For example, Mo Ismail. Mo Ismail is one of Chris Do's alumni. And I don't know whether you've heard about Chris Do, but he's an amazing negotiation coach. But Mo Ismail is one of the top video coaches on Instagram. So what he does, he is into that, and people look for replicating it, and that's how I learned to loop the videos, is that instead of starting recording your video with the first sentence, you start with the second last sentence and you continue and start the first part. So if I said this is how you start looping a video for LinkedIn without having to cut your idea short. What I can do is, when you continue, when you create a long sentence that actually stitches together, this is how you can start your LinkedIn video without having to cut it. So instead of creating a loop or say like, hello, this is me, it's like I'm starting, and then I have a proper end, what I do is creating a continuous sentence that I can simply edit to where I start and when it ends in such a way that it will catch you.
Wow. That makes you realize that it's almost like you have to rethink your strategy. It's a different strategy. Does it always have to be vertical video? Could you do, because you've done some that were like square videos or 16:9, sort of the rectangle videos, and then they had the title at the top, the title at the bottom, in the square format. So I'm assuming short form content can be vertical, square, and
landscape.
Yes,
absolutely.
Okay, so
I agree, and it all, as I said, it all depends on the intention, on how the variety that you are, creating shouldn't be one format. Yes, you can be known for one format, but in the end, if you're targeting someone that is mainly on their desktop, having that blurred frame on the sides just to make the whole picture together, then it's not going to look as nice. So that doesn't mean that you won't do it, but change always is fun, it's diverse, and it keeps you, learning. What I do is when I have those square videos, I simply use either Clipchamp that you ever since you told me about Clipchamp, I've loved it because it gives me the ability to toggle between sizes, and I decide which one is the best or the one that I would prefer to deliver the message with. And or I simply use Canva. I grab my video and I paste it on Canva, and I start working with whatever the animations I would like to add. Because in the end, if you use basic edition, you're gonna deliver the message regardless. So that's why, like when people sometimes, like the last video I put together, it was a combination of course, TikTok, Instagram Reels, etc. The second last one was simply an Instagram story with the captions on. That was it. I didn't do anything else. I downloaded it. I knew that it was not going to be the best quality because every time I download Instagram stories, they lose, that crispness, the definition of the image. But I said, well, if I cannot do it, because if I start overthinking my video, I will not post it. And that's not the goal.
I like that. And you know what? It's so true in that you don't want to overthink it. And I know personally, I always feel sometimes I second guess my content and I'll just go, I don't know if anybody really, maybe I'm coming off as like, a know-it-all for this or something like that. But I always feel that if you have the inspiration to create a video, just go for it, because somebody out there wants to see it, wants to hear the content, wants to be inspired, and maybe your video will inspire other people. So I don't think we should wait till we're perfect, just because we're never going to be perfect.
Exactly. It will never be perfect. So if you need to be a talking head for 6 months, be a talking head as long as you develop and you feel comfortable for being on camera. Then instead, if you decide, for example, this live, I love looking at the camera, but I know I also love looking at your face. So when you are solo, exactly. But when you are solo and you are talking, you're looking at yourself, you really know you're not making eye contact with the person that you are delivering the message. So, and unfortunately, it's not going to be as effective. And those are the little nuances that you learn with the practice.
So true. So true. Okay. So we got to wind down. So what would be your words of wisdom that you would pass on to everybody if they were kind of thinking about, okay, I want to get into this short form video content trend? I think we both agree this is coming. It's here. You've got, it's a great thing to be part of your LinkedIn strategy, part of your social media strategy, taking part in this. So what would be your words of wisdom you'd like to leave people with?
So, well, the first thing is like the trends doesn't mean that you need to, you will see many trends, but it doesn't mean that you are going to use them, because you are when you think about a trend, it's like, oh, it's so much fun. I would love to be dancing on LinkedIn, but would that help me deliver the proper message that I want to deliver to that specific person? No. Yes, maybe. We don't know. There might be artists, there might be dancers that you want to attract on LinkedIn. Who knows? And they feel identified with that type of video. Then you know your target audience. Then you are delivering in the format that resonates the most. But if it is, for example, a recruiting firm, or you want to help other recruiters, other career coaches, other people who are in a different mindset, spectrum, medium, and they actually want to learn from you, but then the instructional videos are great. I unfortunately have witnessed a great insights delivered in a form that actually makes you cringe. I don't know. And I cannot be more specific because I will identify the person And that's not the case. Always think about the person that you are trying to attract, regardless
Ideal
if it is a
customer.
video. Exactly, your ideal customer. Where is your ideal customer? Is at the beach? Is in a boardroom? And if so, the short form video can be delivered. But what you are reflecting, it's crucial for them to look at themselves in that picture, in that message. Otherwise, the content is not for you. Yeah, it might be fun sometimes. And maybe you can have, that 80-20 in which 80% is for your ideal audience. And then the 20 is for you, for having fun.
Just for fun.
Go for it. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. This is super. Well, thank you very much for being on the show today. This was awesome and fun, and always be learning, right?
Exactly. Keep your videos short. Keep a punchline. But especially people love surprises. So surprises doesn't have to be that you're going to jump, that you're going to dance, that you're going to rip your clothes off, because it might not be very appropriate. But you can do it. You can do it. There are, you can mix static images with your video. Like, the sky is the limit when it comes to those 15 seconds that you want to look, those 20 seconds that you want to look.
I love it. I love it. Okay, well, we'll say goodbye now, and thank you for being here, and we'll see everybody next time. Bye.
Thank you. Take care.